would allow OGC to also go for a Ricky, perhaps.
Yeah.
And that Ricky Grimstroke versus Mars just destroys him in the lane.
Yep, 100% agree. It's also just too good with Ember Spirit. You already have a Chen. Chen's big weakness is just getting jumped on, bombed on. And Ember's benefit, if you have the Grimstroke Ink Spell as well, not only are you going to stun Chen's creeps, you're going to almost kill them. So the entire army just gets decimated. And also Mars has no real control.
They also play Ember on position 1 most of the time as well. So.
Now, you guys have spent a lot of time in the past praising what OGC do in terms of their drafting here as well. Have you seen a constant improvement come out from them, though, across the league?
I've seen like some sinus. It goes up and down constantly.
Parabolic movements.
Yeah,
it has to get worse before it gets better.
It doesn't look... It looked solid versus OG. The day before versus Alliance, it looked very weak. Also for OGC, you don't know what you're going to get, so we'll see. So far, it looks all right.
It's like a box of chocolates.
I'm now just imagining Lizard dressed up as Forrest Gump. Maybe we should get him one of those outfits.
Dude, I remember one time, I can't remember the event, but some studio, they had chocolates. I'm like, hey, you guys want some? It's like, what's in it? Oh, it's just good. And it was one of those vodka-filled chocolates.
Brilliant.
That was a huge, let me tell you, that was a big surprise.
I bet.
Made the panel much better.
Couldn't shut Kyle up. He was just rabbiting away non-stop.
People are thinking like, oh, it was like soaked in. Like, no, it was like a hollow chocolate with like a shot of vodka inside. It's just like, ha ha ha, here you go. Funny prank, have fun at work. They go with the shaker. This is a nice hero against Chen, because Chen in the early game is more about you're not like dominating a lane. You're winning it slowly. You're getting creeps. Yep. Looking to make moves. It's more about abusing positioning. You know, rotate to the top wood, summon in somebody, make a move. And Earthshaker is the same sort of hero from a more defensive perspective. And then later on in the game, you get a blink. You can crush through the army, but the Rubik immediately to counter.
It also opens up your offlaners that you can pick, right?
Yeah,
with the Earthshaker position 4, you can suddenly think about these bats, these Pugnas that are a little bit easier to play on the offlane. Necro perhaps also becomes an option.
That's a good point, because you want heroes like Necro, like Veno perhaps against Chen, just to like kind of sit on towers and defend them. And Shaker activates them while also enabling them, because you can play away from the offlaner. You give them a start, and then these very XP dependent offs can get their own game, and you don't want to like leech experience from, say, a Necro or a Pugna, because once they hit 5 and 6, suddenly they're dominating a lane 1-on-2.
So far, so good, right? You're not swaying either way. We're seeing a sensible
both of these drafts look very solid.
It's very standard.
Yeah, from OGC, okay, I can look at one thing that kind of throws me off, even though this Shaker does activate your offlane a bit. This Shaker on its own requires a little bit of space in that mid game, and that can sometimes be problematic. Sometimes you can't play as fast as you would like to, and
he's hating it again. He's hating it again.
No.
Not only is it happening again, how does a Shaker fit in with the axe pick?
It was all looking like something sensible, and then all of a sudden, the axe gets picked in again. I'm a happy man, but Carl is certainly not.
And now Lone Druid. Oh my god. Okay, these 4.
Lone Druid.
One pick from Liquid just makes it look like a much better draft. Kyle has just died in his
They did say, right, Liquid were like, if it's open, we're going to pick Lone Druid. If you don't ban it against us, we will pick it. They're living up to their name.
Maybe OGC has something in store for us. Maybe they have prepared to this a Lone Druid pickup, but...
Carl, you think you know the result of this already?
It's just...
Look at the objective taking capabilities from OG Seed and from Team Liquid right now.
It's the way Carl has lost his complete mood, everything. You just slouched down. He's like, oh, why?
You saw what Prodigy did, right? They picked Axe with the Sky Wrath.
Yeah.
Because you need damage and burst. It works. It makes sense. When you pick an Earthshaker, like we were just explaining for a couple of minutes, you want to pick it with a hero that's XP dependent, that can operate independently. That's not Axe. Axe wants to play with somebody. You want to pressure together. And where's the burst on a taunt? You already had Ember for the now you have really low damage, so what does Liquid do? They already abused what they had an advantage in the draft from the first part, which was a huge EHP advantage. Damage reduction on the Rubik and the Mars, Chen with the mech, Chen with the heal. Now you have a Lone Druid that's going to go Spirit Bear form. How in the hell are you going to kill him?
Capabilities are through the roof. OG Seed, if they commit 4 heroes on one side, the Lone Druid is going to outpush them. And now they pick Chessie's.
More damage reduction?
Yeah, the best Chessie's hero, pretty much. They snatch it away from him on Liquid. They just take it for themselves.
Meepo might save this draft for OG Seed, but I'm not a huge...
Okay, it is possible.
That's all I can see.
It is possible.
Let's hope they pick a Meepo then.
Maybe they have some cheese pick in store for us. It looks like that might save them.
That's the only way I see them actively changing the way the win conditions function between 15 and 20 minutes. Because it comes back to this concept of Liquid already have like a big effective health advantage. They're a much more durable team, and they're going to buy these cheap items that have incredibly high ROI. So you'll have like Mask of Madness, Deso or Maelstrom or something, or Basher on the Lone Druid, like 15 minutes in. Void Spirit will have a Deso or a Crit or a Yules or an Ags. Chen will have a Mech. And Mars will have a Blink or a Vlad's or both. And that's like such a huge power spike because it's all happening at the same time.
Bristleback!
And we have Bristleback. We'll see. I don't see the team fight. I don't see the damage from OG Seed right now.
Same. You have... Okay, let's look at the bright side for a little. you have the Crystal Maiden and Bristleback. You have a lot of mana regen there for the Bristle. It will be easier for him to spam those quill sprays. Yeah. The Crystal Maiden is decent versus Chen. Bristleback as well is the hero that will be able to stand up front and be the one that defends your towers versus the incoming onslaught. They don't have a way to deal with this Lone Druid, and that's what worries me. I don't see it, at least. Perhaps I'm wrong, but it doesn't look that way.
To go off of that, Liquid don't have a real way of dealing with a Bristleback. So, I imagine the Void Spirit will buy a Vessel. So if he gets that up quickly, it could be effective. But in theory, if Bristle gets that item ahead, you're just king of this game. You're going to run rampant. So
if you're Liquid, you really have to pressure the Bristle lane, right? You have to make his life as miserable as possible, because he said it. If he is an item ahead. If he isn't, he's not really a problem.
The problem you have is if this is Ember versus Lone Druid mid, that's a disaster. Koifa Lone Druid mid is incredibly tough to take down. I think Bristle does pretty okay, but... Then it's Ember on the side lane.
It's on the side lane.
CM.
I think Madara plays it quite a lot. And then you put the Bristle mid on Chessie, I suppose. We'll see.
Well, it's time for the game, guys. And it's time to get your opinions on which way this is going to go. Real quick for me. Take it away, Lizard.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Liquid. I think they're in their full comfort zone. And if they find a way to deal with the Bristle, it's going to be easy for them.
Carl's face paints a pretty picture.
Like everything except for the Axe. If this Axe is a different hero that's going to provide real damage and it has more durability, then I like this draft from OG Seed. But I think that's too big of a hole. And I feel like Liquid is just going to hit this massive power spike. And 20 minutes in, they're going to take it.
Well, thank you very much for your thoughts, guys. It's time for us to get into the first game between Liquid and OG Seed. It certainly seems like the Lone Druid and the rest of what Liquid drafted could be the way forward for him, and Axe might be the one that pays the price for OG Seed. But we've got Toby and Lacoste ready to bring you the action. Guys, what do you make of this one?
We want to start with your opinion, Lacoste. Apart from, hey, Liquid pick Lone Druid, that means win?
That means easy win for Liquid. You can see that meta is kind of shifting towards like none these team fighting ultis, no long cooldowns. Everyone just wants to keep fighting all the time. Like the only long cooldown they have is like Mars Arena and Chen with ulti, and they don't care too much about it. Same goes for the other side. There's only Echo Slam, but you can still keep fighting all the time. One of the reasons why like CM seems to be more picked these days, at least in the pub matches. Haven't seen much of her in pro matches yet. But they have these two heroes, like no counter for Lone Druid and no real counter for Bristleback. Spirit Vessel is the one way to counter it, so it's going to depend on OG Seed whether Bristleback is going to have a good laning stage or not. He's going to be mid against Lone Druid. Nah, not the matchup that I've seen, at least not lately. One of the reasons why, because Lone Druid is not popular at all. It's pretty much only Liquid playing this.
Yep. And the Bristleback is never in the mid. Like he's always been, well, 3 position offlane.
Well, he is mid, safe lane, off lane, very versatile pick. But all right, seems like we're having a bit of an issue.
It's all right. They'll get back in. We'll be totally fine. But I'm liking the fact you're flagging Liquid going this high tempo style of Dota. We saw OG Seed played that exact Dota the last couple of rounds, where it's like if we're behind, we run at you, and this is the style that we shall now adopt. Everything is low cooldown as long as they can keep someone on the front lines. But they got the big kind of hallelujah from Z Freak if you can get that big Echo Slam off. But I'm interested to see like how the lanes do go down, and maybe even less about the mid. I know the panel were putting a lot of pressure on Chessie to say like he's on counter, maybe he can be one item ahead and you'll be able to walk over Team Liquid. But it's always been Madara that seems to have shined for OG Seed. How does this lane work for the Ember Spirit up against Mars and up against anything else that Liquid look to rotate down to the bottom lane?
There is a ton of damage from Liquid on this bottom lane, a lot of kill potential, like laning against melee hero. They have nice setup for the spear. One thing I'm concerned about is the mana cost on spear that got nerfed so hard. Like level 4 spear is now 140 mana, which is 40 more. You don't have enough mana to cast your spells. Like you will get the Soul Ring eventually. I was thinking about this. Maybe you get like a 1 null talisman to have enough mana. Braces just feels better, you know, but you need to adapt. Look at his mana pool, 303. I'm going to go through everyone's mana pool. CM, of course, lower, 243, 279 on Bristle. Shaker's low. Seems like Mars has like the most mana here.
It's almost the same as Axe, right? Like Axe has 315, and you got 301 over on Mars, but Axe has harassment that costs him 50 mana in the form of Battle Hunger.
Yes.
And we've actually seen a lot of Axes even just skipping going the Berserker's Call and just going like Hunger and Helix and getting up in the face of whoever's in the safe lane.
1.4 per level. How much does Axe get? 1.6. He probably is the lowest one with the end gain in this game. Lone Druid, 1.4. Like Lone Druid has more end gain than you.
Well, everyone's back in. Let's keep it rolling. And Mars and Rubik should easily be able to hold like both the boundary runes on bottom, so it'll be up to the top lane. I like how this outfit from above, like Pexu almost looks like a Naga Siren, walking around as the Crystal Maiden.
The time draws nigh.
It looks.
It reminds me of Slardar. That's my first guess, but I can also see why you're going with Naga.
In all things.
Never liked that set.
It looks like she's got a tail. Like what is?
It's like tail and the wings. Definitely looks like Slardar to me.
Yeah, and this way she has to use her feet. Now, I don't know about you, but no legs, please. That's the best way to do it. Even Ember Spirit, I reckon he hovers above the ground. He never lets his royal feet touch the deck.
Maybe he is just thinking about Mother Earth. His feet stinks. He does not want to touch it. But let's watch the mid lane. It's going to be Mickey.
Yeah, it's not the matchup we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So they will put the Lone Druid on the safe lane against the Axe. I guess that's one reason. Otherwise, your Void Spirit would be much more contested in the laning stage. You're playing against melee against Axe, which is always bad. And now you have 2 range heroes plus a bear.
Yeah, this feels pretty rough for an Axe. And Crystal Maiden's harassment on Leon's not going to be doing much anyway. In fact, every time there's that extra root, you get more damage in from Liquid.
So you're already, forcing him to use a healing salve, which is pretty big deal in the laning stage. And new healing salve is also nerfed. Like you need to wait 2 extra seconds, from 8 to 10 seconds. It got increased, so you can't come back to the lane faster. It's all about these small details.
Yeah, nothing to give you the space. He's even trying to get in range. Okay, he does at least manage to drag down most of that wave. Pextu is standing no chance against Insania. Insania is just standing his ground, got Blightstone already over on the Chen. So Crystal Maiden just dropped so low on the armor that the damage from the Chen is just so much higher than she's ever able to output. They picked it for a reason. Enjoying actually watching the mid lane. Mickey up against Chessie. Chessie, obviously you got like stick charges to give Mickey some a little bit more sustain in the lane. But Chessie's still doing very well on the CS board.
I don't think you can kill Bristleback in this lane unless he overextends. Maybe you get a pull on the tower. He needs to bring some extra regen. What is he bringing? A healing salve, 2 mangoes. Might be a different story once you hit level 6. Let's see the pull onto the tower. It's just going to be some harassment.
It's because the creep wave was still taking up a lot. That's 5 core spray stacks over on Mika. He pushed the shields up. Just in case Chessie wants to force the issue, but now it's going to be salve and salve. Mid lane stays in equilibrium while Koifa's being dived by Zibe. That's what Savage Roar is for. Send Axe back, but Crystal Maiden, she's got level 1 in Frostbite. Maybe they can close the distance, but there's not a single point up in Cole. Right now, they're still not even level 3 Axe. Just a little shy of it. A bottom lane, good fissure from Z-Freak. Creates enough space that he'll end up surviving too.
If you compare, let's say, Liquid to how they've been playing during ESL tournament and how they've been playing throughout this one, it's a very big difference. It just feels like a completely different team.
What do you think has been like their biggest improvements?
Not having Blitz during ESL. No, that's not improvement. I mean, not having Blitz. One of the reasons why they didn't do so well. And
there we go.
I'm pretty sure he's with them on Discord, you know, talking about strategies and picks, how to execute it.
I think your wording, I think, went the opposite way of what you thought that was going to mean. I'm like, what's the biggest improvement? Not having Blitz. Great. Pexu going to be brought down on top lane. Insania. That's with that extra Vul. You got the extra slow, and Pexu just couldn't walk away. Crystal Maiden's movement speed's always been one of the worst in the game.
It's not just the movement speed, you also don't deal well with all these summons. Like, if you think about it, yeah, you have Frostbite, which is pretty great against one summon, but there's also a Bear, Harassment from the Chen, plus a Blightstone, so there is a ton of damage. And the Axe is trying to cut the creep wave. Kobold 4, man, that's my favorite neutral creep. Looks so gangsta.
Oh, he actually went for the call. Needs extra spins for Insane to drop down low, and Zibe actually tips him as he's killing him. If he didn't get those extra 2 spins nearing the end of that call, it may have been a very different scenario. Chessie. Mickey's able to catch him. Even gets the fresh bottles up. You can get the 5-minute bounty runes in just 1 second, so they'll let the lane go. While on bottom lane, Madara trying to battle for this 5-minute rune. Z-Freak gets the stun out, trying to get the follow-up totem, but Rubik pick up Tiger. Almost got the full control. Pexu gets one of the bounty runes, but Mickey now arrives looking for his easy kill into Z-Freak. He has to move up. Tiger on 12 HP is able to survive.
Oh, because Mickey got that kill, he was level 6. Also, he got the faster rune than Bristleback. Now he refilled the bottle. Is going to come back to the lane, full HP, full mana, and gets the kill on the side lane, saving his teammates. So very nice play overall from Liquid. It's just that, like, one lane is going well, you get the rune, and then, you know, the other lanes are also not going well. So Boxty decides to go for Power Treads, first item. This is the build that he likes to do on the strength offlaners, especially when he's playing like a Dragon Knight. Just gets Power Treads and into a Blink Dagger. And with Power Treads, you can shift, get 10 intelligence when you're shifting. So that's like mana sustain in the lane. Not the greatest one, but you know, at least it's something considering the last nerfs.
Still prefer something more like, oh, hello, jump in, Mickey. He actually gets the kill onto Chessie. He was already up to 6 Core Spray stacks. Thought it might have been a little risky to go, but calculated. Chessie now having his 2nd death of the game. That whole dream of being 1 item ahead is definitely not a reality in this game. The top 3 net worths all belong to Liquid. The only one close to it is Axe.
Mid lane.
Wait, really?
He's dead.
Has he actually got the damage if he turns? No, of course. The shields are still up.
Oof. Also, this shield is super effective against Bristleback. And his Skull Spray, it's a physical damage, so you're blocking that as well.
And Zibe's really trying to force the issue up on top. Looking for a call, already gets 1 big spin out in the Chen. And Pexu can't help him out. The large issue of the Lone Druid.
164 move speed.
Goodbye. That Crystal Maiden does not stand in this lane. Maybe if you had something like a Paralyzing Cask, Witch Doctor to bounce around.
I just ripped the hero.
Axe is dead. Mickey's moved in. A quick little step forward. He's got his Remnant as well to keep the control up. And Axe, you can call all you want, but Mickey will just step himself back to the mid lane. It's looking really good for Liquid.
I've seen a lot of mid Bristlebacks. Like during ESL China, it was a very popular pick, where you're just bullying enemies out of the lane, creating a lot of space for your team playing behind tier 1, tier 2 tower,
Hello,
taking the
Boxy.
stacks. But this is not the bristleback that I've seen. Boxy?
Yeah, able to spear it away. Madara doesn't have level 6 yet, so there's no spirits available. Boxy was actually perfectly controlled by Z-Freak and then chain controlled by Crystal Maiden, but now it's Z-Freak underneath the tower. Something's not right, and that's what's not right. No one's at home. The internet cable's unplugged. And that's
Well,
definitely it feels bad. Even if they do think about letting him escape from this, I think the tower kills him anyway.
I'll be honest with you. I've done this once. Like, I misused my spells, didn't use them on time, then I disconnected so I don't look stupid. And then I came back into the game, so it looks like I lagged. Maybe that's the place. Like, Z-Freak is a very smart young man.
Wait, and they're actually discussing this. Like, Boxy's like, I don't want to die, but somebody has to. Boxy was just lucky enough to survive. In fact, he'll turn around for the spear.
I don't think he would get the kill anyway. It's a level 1 Fisher, level 1 Enchant Totem.
Mm-hmm.
Fisher was not ready at the time.
Madara would have had the kill if he didn't get speared back, as far as he did as well. Like, it wasn't even the short range into the tree that was next to him. It was all the way back to the tree line just above the tower. Maybe Rubik now Tiger will sacrifice himself for the greater good. Nope, stick charges up. Fade Bolt, not going to dive the tower this time around, OG Seed. Insania. Mickey, looking for a jump. Insania a little bit too late. Doesn't really have the greatest trapper. He just brings bonus damage to the lane and the Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, Arcane Ring is such a badass neutral item if you have a good hero to carry it. Like, it's the perfect Void Spirit item here. You get mana, you get damage, you get armor against Bristleback, which is pretty nice.
I'm thinking of having another go at mid. Mickey's going to get a full bottle charge up now, thanks to Tiger returning. But Z-Freak's movement. Probably wished he had a lot more impact on this game so far. Every rotation seems to have, well, failed. The scoreboard kind of reveals that with a 1-8. And now Tiger gets to soak up the mid lane. Keep it pushed back while down on bottom. Ember Spirit will arrive. They drop down sentries, and Senya's going to drop one of his own. And it's Mickey looking for the
Vex too.
Yeah, it's not a happy
gets
day.
one-shotted. Astral Step plus Resonant Pulse. Like, in a second, he's gone. Bristleback, still there. I mean, they have very limited catch for Mickey.
They're trying to actually contest the outpost grab. Madara's going to jump in. It's a good sleight of fist here and chain over on 2 heroes. But with another quick jump forward from Mickey, he just tanks through all the damage. Z-Freak will be the next target. Boxy just wants to try and outrun the Flame Guard. But Immolation's a pretty damn good thing, especially when controlled with Searing Chains with Boxy. 50 HP, the one shot just gave him the life. Mickey will create some extra space, but Peksu! He'll rotate around. Easiest level 1 Crystal Nova of his life for Mickey. He'll get what he really wants. More and more kills stalking him up. He's 7-0-2. He's about to make it 8-0-2 in 8 seconds when he's got jump. All of the remnant. Peksu stay above the tree line. He'll frostbite Mickey underneath the tower. Still got a couple of 1 charges. And now Peksu low on life. Out you pop. There goes the 8th kill for the Void Spirit of Mickey.
And it's a 5k lead already for Team Liquid. This Void Spirit is doing everything in this game. The problem is Chen, like, he hit level 6 at 10-minute mark, which you usually don't see, but they were getting a lot of kills on a mid and top lane. He's involved in 8 out of 13 kills on Chen, so that means he's getting a lot of XP. So you don't expect him to have Hand of God when you're fighting for the outpost.
Oh, mid lane Madara. That actually worked out nicely. Boxy didn't throw the spear, so I didn't push him into the tower and then drag him back with the Remnant, which I'm fairly certain was Liquid's goal there. While all this is going on, Koifus finished Mask of Madness, farming up his Desolator, an uncontested lone Druid in the safe lane, while Liquid group up massively and look for their own kill in mid. Zibe on 60 HP, makes a break for the trees. Mickey's in way too deep.
He's dead.
He doesn't have a jump away, and it's Madara who will end the streak. That's some good money coming the way of the Amber Spirit.
500 gold for that kill. This is the downside of Void Spirit. You want to keep playing aggressive, but you do not want to use all your kit to get a kill. You always want to keep one so that you can be able to run away if there's no one behind you, like if you have no follow-up from the team. But as you said, Koikwa on the top lane was just farming. Now rotates to the bottom lane. Mask of Madness going for that Deso build, which is pretty standard these days. When I say pretty standard, it's just Koikwa build because no one else is playing the hero.
Oh, Mickey. That's an interesting direction for the Remnant. I was going to pull Chessie a little bit closer so Boxy can get the easy spear. Remember, they don't have Arena Liquid because they burnt it on the support hero. It's not going to stop Mickey from jumping forward. Lone Draw is taking the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane while all this is going on, but now the Chen army goes to work. Tiger, he got the grab, he got the pickup, and Chessie wants to get back out while Pexy just wants to let it go. He couldn't get it all off, however. 2 heroes go down for OG, and Liquid, they just regenerate through. Didn't even need the Hand of God or the Lone Druid.
Wait, Earthshaker doesn't even have boots? Oh, he has 5 items, none of them are boots. It feels so bad.
Oh, Lone Druid about to get ganked up. Blink, call, up and running. So Zibe's able to give the extra control. Even Z-Free dropping the Echo Slam. They did not want to give Koikwa any chance to get away to safety.
Well, Koikwa overstayed his welcome a bit on the bottom lane. He had Chen near him, but in the next few minutes he should be able to finish off the Deso. Chen with the mech in 50 gold, so all these small pieces coming together. Vlad's on Mars. Like, look at Mars mana pool, man. It's disgustingly bad. 200 for Arena of Blood, 140 for Spear, and 80 for God's Rebuke.
Yet still they wanted to pick him up. Yeah, like how we even just skipped, like, I don't even want
mana. Well, someone posted on Reddit that you need to be level 10 to cast the combo if you don't go for any kind of mana items. Like if you don't have Magic Wand, you need to be level 10 to execute the combo. Wow. That's a lot of Fs I would write in chat. Well, to be honest, Mars was a bit OP as a hero. Not sure he needed this kind of a nerf. Sometimes you think about, 10 mana is not that much per level, but if you look at his like starting int and in game, it's just awful.
He needs more. And I'm loving the money that's coming into Tiger. He was using the level 4 core spray that he stole to farm up Ancients to get him closer to that Spirit Vessel. And they gave him the space on bottom lane to do it. He actually recovered up about 300, 400 net worth just by being able to farm out some double stacks. And they'll try and contest for the 15-minute bounty runes. 10 seconds, and we'll see where OG Seed want to fight for that too. Liquid want to fight to the north. Z-Freak drops down the fissure. The army is on the way, but it's a long way around. Mars, okay, that arena's going to be a little bit off target. Trying to battle with Z-Freak on the wall. He's at least able to get his totem off, but that's all. Nadara, side of fist steering. He's gonna get both Insania as well as Mickey, and maybe with the extra help from the axe, blinking in, able to connect over on his call. Tiger wants to create a little bit of space. Mickey's got the extra life to bounce back out and continue the fight with Spear. Oh, really? Between the 2 trees onto the wall? There's not really a wall. That's how it goes down. Boxy frostbitten up. Pexu still letting it go. That pushback is not enough. In fact, it doesn't hold that stun, so Pexu gets the whole duration over off.
Oh, here comes
Koikwa. Now Chessie in a lot of trouble. Koikwa has finally decided to join the fight. And they claim 2 cores. And
I can't believe that spear did not connect. Like, it maybe a Roche pit is not a wall. I don't know what that is.
Remember, the word says pit, which means it is actually a sunken area, which only contains walls once you're inside the pit. But obviously, it looks like a pit, but it's not a pit. I mean, it doesn't look like a pit, so it's not a pit. Wait, Dota logic? Question.
We had a lot of those logical things throughout the 15 years of Dota. This is one of those.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, if you want to try and change the map, try and make it so Roshan is actually down a ramp. This would change the game of Dotes.
Oh, you want Roche to be on the low ground?
I'm just thinking, maybe it can be changed up.
And he can't reach you?
If it's a real pit, make it a pit.
How do you make it a real pit?
You have, like, as a dungeon, you're going to walk down a ramp to get into Roshan, and then you have, like, a slow move speed to get back out of the ramp as well. Make it even more risky.
Yeah, we tried something similar, Toby. We had Brewmaster igniting people with fire spells.
Uh-huh.
You know, it didn't last for too long. We try to beat Pokemons. Sadly, it's not this game. Man, what happened to Pokemon? Like Pokemon, the one that you were outside catching it, is that game?
You mean Go?
You got Go. It's Go as gone. You can't.
Let's battle mid. It's a 5v5 time. Boxy, is it time for the arena? You're going to put the Ember Spirit up towards the air. Brustle back. Chessie caught on the edge of it too. A perfect spear. And the Fidget Stun can't really create anywhere near enough space. Mickey is just battling in this with a double damage rune, quickly killing off Madara. And now the next target, you know, is Pexu. He's already gone down. Tiger kill secures with the Fade Bolt. Mid tier 1 tower quickly mopped up by Liquid after the 2 kills. And OG, they never really had time to stand their ground and really have a presence.
Yeah, Team Liquid could just play with 4 heroes while Koikwa is farming, but he also decided to join a couple of fights. Now he has a Deso. They could easily just go into Roche Pit. You know, tier 2 items starting to drop. Imp Claw on the bear, probably the best one you can get.
And just let him go nuts. Let the bear hit away at buildings. Boxy's had all the time up on top, but now Chen's gonna drag him back down. There's a large army of stuns, of ice armor, of a clap around. And they're trying to protect Pexu. Like, please go on your warding mission here. While in mid lane, Mickey and Tiger and Boxy all ready to fight. You got Remnant number 1 and now into the spear. Whoops! That'll push Chessie all the way back. Almost the tier 3 tower, but because Axe as well as Z-Freak are here, they cut the fight up, but the roots are out. Chessie has no way to really escape, and Mickey is just held up for the moment thanks to the rooting of the Crystal Maiden. But once again, it is Team Liquid on the run down the middle lane, and they're looking for Pexu, who is broken off to the side. We found the rogue sheep. Yeah, there's no tree there. Love how he actually frostbit the bear, who completed his pullback. That's fine.
Now it's time to go Roche, Koikwa. Let's see if he decides to go for it, or they want to take the tier 2 tower mid first. Problem is, like, you have Axe with a blink call, but there's no real follow-up. Ember Spirit needs to be careful about his positioning.
Oh, they found Z-Freak. Quick Yules from Mickey means the easy Remnant follow-up and the spear.
Oh, easy setup.
It really is, isn't it?
Taiga is also extremely farmed this game. Like, he doesn't have the bestest spells to steal, I would say. You know, Fisher's one of them. Chains, Remnant is okay. But he is extremely farmed. Spirit Vessel, and he also has 5 charges. If you have more than 3 charges, you know you're either not using them correctly or game is going so well for you that you don't even need to use them. I think it's the second one here.
Oh, they just used the second one. The items gonna pick them up quickly before they get lost on the ground. Axe, he's gonna go down quickly. Pex, who cannot survive in the arena of blood. Chessie also put in that category. And that one's the one belonging to Freezing Field of Rubik, dropping on their heads. OG Seed, 6-28. It feels pretty brutal. They have a 2% win rate and the win probability. That's not too happy. And Z-Freak just got caught in the tree line. Boxy blinks forward. Extra support's arriving from Mickey. He's got another Remnant available. Just buying time for Boxy to hit into Z-Freak.
2%, you say? That's less than what Bait had in the previous series.
Hopefully this game doesn't go for like 21
over.
minutes at the same win percentage.
It's just Lone Druid is doing pretty much everyone on Liquid is just one step ahead. They have one extra item. Panel talked about Bristle staying ahead with one extra item. He is sitting on only Pipe at the moment, and they have a good ways to deal with them. Also, the setup that they have with either like telekinesis into a spear, into Remnant, Yule Spirit, whatever, Yule Scepter, into either Remnant or Spear, and now they're gonna go for Roche. Earthshaker nowhere close to Blink Dagger, even though he has Philosopher's Stone. So that's gonna be a freebie for Liquid.
And there's nothing that nothing OGC will want to do about this. Farm up your items, get a Desolator on Madara if you can have enough space in the bottom lane. Gotta give props to Pexu, he's still continuously come out here to ward. 9 deaths doesn't stop him from leaving his base. 8 deaths, same thing for Earthshaker Z-Freak. I think he's been dreaming of this Blink Dagger forever. But he might just sell absolutely everything he owns in order to purchase it if they want to have any chance of fighting the high ground against Liquid. They just gave the Aegis to the Void Spirit. You know Mars and Lone Druid will probably survive any initiation OGC can currently throw.
Insania is also so farmed. Full Guardian Greaves.
Hey, they're going 2 pipes on OG Seed. I don't know if that's intentional.
Was that intentional? It looked intentional.
Well, it's happening either way. Chessie's got 1. And I'm looking at Axe, who's now dying, who's got piping in quick buy. And now another blink, Yule Septum. My god, Madara. No shields to be given for this one. Locked inside the arena. Tiger will claim the double kill. And he's still just casually holding on to the freezing field. While up on top, Lone Druid starts on the tier 3 tower. Buybacks will have to be forced from OGC if they want to defend this.
That's a Spirit Bear with all these auras like Spirit Link, Iced Armor, Guardian Greaves. 3 Centaur Conquerors just sitting in the back. Well, Chesty, he is dealing with the bear. A couple of Nasal Goose sticks, so bear will keep it back to base, yeah, and just use return.
It's almost the downside of Liquid. They had to go to the very southeastern corner of the map in order to actually get the kill, and then walk all the way back towards the mid lane. But by that point, yeah, not much more to be had from it. But the top tier 3 tower has lost 1/3 of his HP, and Chessie feels a little bit too far out. Lone Druid's coming around the back. Here's your Yules, Remnant. The bear will look for his own control. They taunt him, they tangle him, and there's 3 Chen stuns on the way. He gets a pretty good call, but then the push back from Mars, buying space for Chen. He's still got the hand of God available too, and Bristleback bought back as quick as he possibly could. Hexu can't do anything more. You're going to lose the Ember Spirit who starts up, tries to jump out for a Spirit, but that won't work either. And up the hill we go. Liquid with 5, OG with 2. And we're about to make that OG with 4. They'll buy it back, but again, these stuns coming in. Z-Freak trying to create a little bit more space for Chessie, but he just forever Spirit Vesseled. No more life. So Ember can buy back to try and defend. The tier 3 tower, the bear is almost taking care of it. In fact, now it has. Searing Chains up, but the bear is fine. The melee racks can't say the same about it. And GG is called. Not even going to wait for the 25 minutes to come up, and rightly so. 0% on the board. Liquid take game 1 against OG Seed.
I would say Liquid, which much better execution.